Hey YouTube, we'll be using the Reno-Gade deck that I've made. It utilizes the Warlock and Reno-Jackson card, and it can completely heal our hero in the right conditions. So we're going to take it to ranked. Let's go! So the first matchup we have is against the Warrior. So the cards that I have in my hand right now aren't too great, but they're not too bad either. So I'm going to replace all of them except for my Dark Peddler, because that gives me another card. It's very handy to have. So in ranked, the gameplay is a little bit more slower because everyone takes a bit more time to think generally. But I'm going to use out my coin to play the Dark Peddler because I don't have any cards that are worth holding on to. So I've got three options here, but I choose to go with the Corruption for sort of easy and early game removal of a card. It's going to be quite good. So he's played Fiery Aurochs, which is a really great card as a warrior. It just allows you to easily remove low cost minions like myself. And I thought I was lagging, but it turns out he was just taking his time to think about something. I'm not sure what exactly. Alright, so I'm going to live tap and just wait it out. Generally, I tend to like to have more cards in my hand because I can usually do more things later in the game. So this deck is quite useful sort of for the slower games. If it's against a deck that's always putting a lot of minions on the board, it's very hard for me to defeat them. But then again, this isn't the meta deck, and I play this for fun. So I'm going to choose Flame Imp. Even though it does 3 damage to me, it puts a lot of pressure on the board, so he has to clear it using more cards, and that can benefit me. So the general strategy for me is using Reno-Jackson, getting a full heal, and then using my lovely Youthful Brewmaster to bring it back to my hand, so essentially I can heal twice. Yeah, it's very dirty. It's when I first got hit with that card, I was like, is that even allowed? Is that illegal? So searched up on how you could get it, and it turns out you just gotta do the solo adventures, which I paid using mission gold, and now I have it in my possession. You can't beat them, join them, right? Oh, and an update on my card collection. I think I'm on about 36 packs. So if once I get 4 more packs, I'll do another video of myself opening all of them. And let's hope that we get a legendary. My first legendary ever. That sounds so exciting. Also, my annual leave is coming up, so I'll be able to do a lot more videos. Because there's a lot of content that I've wanted to cover, but I really haven't had so much of the time. But now I'll be getting plenty of time, in fact. I decided to think about a bit more about what I'm going to do. Originally I wanted to play the taunt, but I was afraid that he was just going to sort of shield slam me and remove it immediately and then attack one of my minions. So I had to sort of think carefully about what I wanted to do. And I decided that it's quite a big threat, so I'm just going to remove it entirely. As you'll soon see. Yeah, I decided to use Shadow Bolt. There we go. And then I sacrifice that guy. Life tap. Now I wasn't too sure if he said what I did was an error or what he did was an error. But let's just see how it turns out. Infestatorian. Blood Ticker. Huh. I'm not too sure why he'd do that. Because it makes me attack twice. And it's very potent for me. it makes sense that he's a taunt. So right now I'm going to utilize the fact that he gave me Wind Fury and +1 attack, and use Power Overwhelming just to destroy his taunt, and then go for his face. Just apply a bit of pressure early game. So Power Overwhelming gives a minion a lot of strength and health for a turn, but then it dies afterwards. But it's a very good way of buffing your minion just to remove any heavy cards that may be on the field. Okay. So Grim Patron is a really good card. Every time it takes damage and it doesn't die, it summons another version of itself. As you can see, he's filling up the board quite quickly. Currently, I'm not in a great spot, to be honest. And when you're playing this deck, you've got to decide whether to life tap to try and get Reno, or do you want to conserve? Because sometimes they're putting so much pressure on you that you have no choice. So right now, just decide to go for face. And then, so the reason I didn't use Hellfire was to try and bait out more cards to sort of maximize the use of it. But then he played Armor Smith, which is unfortunate for me. So that was very good of him to roll that twice. And every time one of his minions take damage, he gains armor. And taking quite the beating, to be honest. But now I've got the Hellfire. Unfortunately, it's going to give him a lot of armor if I do decide to Hellfire. And yeah, I've pretty much only got the option to Hellfire right now. So now I'm getting low on health, and he's essentially gaining more health. So I decided to play this card to give myself a bit more healing, just so hopefully it can survive in case he's got any strong charges or weapons that's just going to chop me in half. That's a really strong card. Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, it's just charging for my face right now. And at this point, I decided that saving my youthful Brewmaster for Reno might be quite hard because I still have a lot of cards in my deck. So I chose to keep it for the healing aspect, which I do. I've got a slight advantage because I have more cards than he does. And I can always draw a bit more, but it's a bit risky now that we're reaching sort of the late game and I still haven't drew Reno. And I just choose to give that corruption in case he buffs it. My heart was beating pretty fast at this point. I was like, I hope my first recording of ranked gameplay wouldn't be a loss, otherwise that'd be so embarrassing. But luckily, yeah, RNG was on my side, and I played quite well, I believe. Yeah, it's a smart choice. They're gonna charge at me. Now, I'm just gonna sacrifice my Acolyte for the one draw, and get spell damage after I heal myself, because we're getting a little bit risque. Risky territory. Yeah. So this gives me a draw. Yes. Alright, so I'm not going to life tap now. I'm going to save it just in case he can do sort of 11 damage. So right now my heart is like going a million miles per hour. But hopefully I can bring this game home. But he's quite a bit of armor, as you can see already. But now that I saw that he didn't play any cards, I'm going to assume that his hand is not in his favor. So I'm going to go really try and punish him right now. So I start to play more aggressive now. Oh yeah, look at that heal. Even he's amazed. I've been on the receiving end of that card for so many times that I decided to join the club. He's going to stack on armor. What's he going to do? Alright, so I'm going to continue to punish him for every turn that he sort of gives to me. I'm not going to play my draw 2 card right now, just because I know that'll really help him out, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to life tap, because I've got a lot of health. I'm not afraid to just keep punishing him, which I do decide to do. So I decide to keep the rest of the other cards, just in case he has Brawl, which is a very powerful card that removes all minions on the board except one, and it's completely random. So I'm just trying to play a bit more safe. And again, he doesn't have any answers to sort of wipe my board right now. So I'm just going to go and do a lot of damage. As much damage as I can, really. Just sneak it in. And that's my good friend Dingo trying to warn me. He's great. He's quite a skilled player, so he's just trying to look out for me. But I'm looking quite comfortable right now. But things can change so quickly. But yeah, if he doesn't have an answer now, he's lost. Okay. Yep. Double whirlwind. Oh, and execute. There we go. You can't. Oh, that's a nice. So he's clearing my board a lot now, which is quite good on him. But yeah, I've got spell damage. I've won. GG. Yeah, if I didn't drew Reno, that would have been a different story. So I think he made quite a few mistakes himself, but that's the nature of the game. The less misplays you do, the better you get, and that only comes with practice. So good luck, mate, for your next opponent. Anyways, that's a victory, and we're going to sort of jump quite quickly into the next video clip that I've prepared earlier. So yeah, my Reno deck is at level 36, my Warlock. It's because I play it quite a bit. I enjoy the concept and the mechanics of it. So we're fighting another warrior. So warriors are quite popular tonight, which is fine. Again, I'm going to do the same thing as I did in the previous game. Keep my Dark Peddler. I decide to play my Void Walker to bait out another Fiery Axe if he has it. No. I decide to play that instead. That's fine. Oh, double Dark Peddler. We're in a good spot. So I decided to choose Power Overwhelming because that was just the better choice out of the 3. For my deck anyway. I think the Best ones you can get usually are the imp that gives your minion health at the end of each of your turn, and he's completely stealth, so he usually sticks on the board quite well. Mortal Coil or Power Overwhelming, and some degree Corruption. Those are the best 4 cards that I've usually seen. I've seen a Shifter, I think, but that's too independent as well. Yeah, so I picked up the Wind Fury card for my 1 Discover, so I can potentially combo out with Power Overwhelming and get 10 damage a turn, which will help me against warriors because they keep building up quite a bit of armor. Give your opponent a mana crystal. Oh, that actually helps me out quite a bit. That actually helps me out quite a lot, actually. Alright. So, I definitely want to remove the 4/4 on the field. I'm just trying to check how many cards he has. I just decided to go for face. And just chuck in another defense, Infestatorian, and end my turn. See how he reacts to a heavy board presence. Does he have an answer for it? If not, I'm going to go aggressive again. With this deck, you want to sort of try to control the board to some degree. Because when you get overwhelmed, it becomes quite brutal. That's a smarter choice. Because that way his minions has a bit more health and can stay on the board for a bit longer. Ooh, perfect. Alright, so I'm going to use this to regain the health, and then kill it for free, and then do another 6 damage. That was quite a lucky draw. Or I just have excellent deck building skills. It's definitely the first one, mate. He's got quite a bit of cards in his hand, which worries me a bit. Here we go. Now we're seeing the coin. What's it going to bring out? What is it? What is it? The suspense, the suspense. Alright, gains a weapon. Very handy. Has a charge. I'm liking what he's doing. Oh, this is nice. Don't know why he'd do that. That seems foreign to me. So, because he went so aggressive that turn, I can only assume he's got some even more follow-up aggressive turns and cards to play in the following turns. So, I'm looking to end this relatively quickly now. So, I decided to plug a taunt for a bit of defense and life tap, because now I want Reno just in case he has aggressive follow-ups, and more life would just be handy for me. Alright. So, if all goes well, my taunt should be able to tank a bit of damage, give me a bit of breathing room next round. Oh, silenced. That was good. That was good gameplay from him. So he's going to play aggressive again. Yeah, really aggressive actually. Yeah, very aggressive. Alright, so now I decide to attack him first before I use my Hellfire. Otherwise, I'll just lose like 4 damage basically. Here we go. And I'll play this card. Hopefully he doesn't attack it. That way I can plug it with Power Overwhelming twice and do 18 damage. I'm just hoping. I'm praying. If I can pull this off. Oh, here we go. Or charge. Over up. Oh, I don't think he has an answer. Yeah. Oh, we're cooking with gas now, boys and girls and cats and whoever watches my videos. Victory! Yes. It feels good. It feels good. It feels good to play cheap. No? Alright, so that was a few videos of the gameplay of my Reno deck and Warlock. So at the end of October I reached 18 technically, but then I fell down a bit because I don't have strong cards. But here's a video of what you get at the end of each season. So yeah, so 18 was what the highest that I reached, and you usually get 3 things. I think you get more when you go higher up, so it goes lower down, so it goes 19, 18, 17, all the way down to 1, and then legendary, and there's like thousands of legendary players, and they duke it out to become the best of the best. And that's where you get a new card back, a card, and a bit of crafting dust. So yeah, that's how ranked works. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll have to catch you next time, alright? Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. So like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you later. Bye!